Hello everyone, welcome to the Fabulous 5 Lawn Fawn Old and New Hop and Giveaway. Myself and 4 other amazing crafters have come together to make some crafty projects using both new and old Lawn Fawn products. We've done this in hopes to inspire you to make some amazing things with both the new releases and all that stuff that you've probably already got in your stash. Our theme for this hop is buzzing by, and so I've gone with some of the bee-themed things from Lawn Fawn's latest release. And today I'm going to show you how I made this card. To get started, I'm going to show you the things that I used. First up, I have the honeycomb backdrop die. I absolutely had to get this. I love it so much. There's just something about all these bees and these hexagons that I love, and they go so well with all the other bee things I've got already, from when Lawn Fawn did that mini release last year. I've cut that with some white cardstock, and I've also cut the largest of the stitched rectangles. If you're a fan of Lawn Fawn, then you've probably already noticed that all of these backdrop dies fit perfectly over the largest stitched rectangle. I've also cut some white banners. I'm using my High Five stamp set. Happy wedding for just a few of these cute little accessories. So very nice for the little dress that I thought I could use as a little wedding dress. Some of the plants from Dandy Day. And I'm stamping out a custom sentiment, so I'm going to be using the Milo's ABCs for this. To save you the pain of watching me line up all of those little letters, I've skipped that part and I'm going to go straight into embossing. As cute as the sentiments already are for the Hive 5 set, I wanted to go with something a little bit different, so I looked up bee puns and I found this pun and thought it was really cute. So as you can see, I've got Why Do Bees Get Married, and these are going to go on the front of my card. I've got some gold embossing powder here, and I'm going to use my heat gun to melt it. Now, if you haven't already guessed what the answer to this is, it's because they found their honey, which when I found was just too cute to pass up. I knew it was going to be a lot of stamping, but it just worked really well. So something that might surprise you is that I don't like embossing. I love the end result. I think embossing looks the best on all cards, and that's why you'll find it on probably 99% of my cards. But for some reason I don't enjoy the process. I don't know if it's because my craft space is so small and all of my things are put away and I have to drag them out every time I do it. But I find this process so tedious, and almost every time I do it I think, why do I do this? And then that powder melts and all is forgiven. It just looks so good. So as you can see here, I am now doing the inside of my card. It's a question, it's a joke, it's got an answer, so that's going to go on the inside of my card. And so I've used plenty of anti-static powder on the background of this so that my embossing powder doesn't get stuck where I don't want it to. And you'll be able to see the answer to this silly little joke, because they found. And I did this in 2 parts because honestly lining up all of these letters was a little tiring, but it turned out so good in the end. Again, all is forgiven once this powder melts. So while all of my embossing is set aside to dry and cool, I'm going to do some splatters on my backgrounds, on both the hexagons and the background that's going to be sitting behind it. For that, I'm using my Starry watercolor set, and I always go with blue gold, which I find a little bit strange. You'd think with honey maybe a red gold would look a little bit better, but when I first got this set I actually tested it against my embossing powders, and the blue gold was almost a perfect copy with my embossing powder. And because I only have the one gold powder, I tend to always use these 2 together. So setting them aside to dry, I then move on to stamping, which is usually my first thing that I do for cards, but like I said, the embossing I knew was going to be a whole ordeal, so I got that out of the way early. And I'm just stamping a bunch of bees and all those cute little accessories that I pointed out at the beginning. My 2 little bees are going to be holding these champagne flutes, so I'm making sure I'm stamping 2 of those bees and 2 of the glasses. So now I'm moving on to colouring, and I'm keeping things very simple for this card because I love how white and bright it is for a wedding card. So really I'm only adding a bit of yellow and orange on my bees and the honey, just a tiny pop of green on the stems of the plants. And I'm using my lightest neutral grey to do some shadows on the things that I want to remain white. And while I'm getting this colouring done, now is the perfect time to talk about this hop. So if you haven't joined us for one of these hops before, there's only 5 of us, hence the Fab 5. We're just a group of smaller YouTube channel owners who love to get together and create projects using both our old and new Lawn Fawn sets. And just like our other hops, this one is also sponsored. So Lawn Fawn have generously given us a $25 gift voucher to give away, and because they ship internationally, this giveaway is open internationally. All you have to do is hop along and leave us all a comment. If you don't know what to comment, a simple hello will do. But it totally makes our day if you share your thoughts on the projects we've made. You can find the links to the other videos in this hop in the description box below. So now that my colouring is done, I'm then just going to add a bit of glue all over the back of this honeycomb backdrop, and I'm going to adhere it onto my stitched rectangle. Once that is adhered, I then have some foam squares on the backs of my banners, and I'm going to place them as evenly as I can on this background. So all I'm doing here is assembling my very simple background. And because I've used those foam squares on the backs of these banners, there's plenty of room behind them to hide parts of these images in. So up the top I've got the flower and that adorable little dress. Down the bottom I'm going to have the ring and a cute little dandelion. And in the centre I'm going to have just a few more things. I'm going to have the honey pot and the little bee holding the tiny dandelion. I just think he's so cute. For just a little bit more colour and a tiny bit more dimension, I've added just 3 foam squares sporadically around my background. And with these, I'm going to add a few of those honeycomb pieces that get cut out when you run that backdrop dye through the die cut machine. I've coloured them with just a tiny bit of that gold watercolour pigment as well. I don't know about you, but there's something about that to me that just changes the whole background. On the inside of the card, I have another honey pot that I'm going to pop down the bottom near the word honey. And these sweet little bees are already holding their champagne flutes, so I'm just going to place them where I feel they fit best. I'm going to add some double-sided tape and remove the backing on the back of my card front. And then I'm going to adhere it to my card base, making sure that it is the right way up and that my sentiment is in the right spot. And there we have it! Why do bees get married? Because they found their honey. I hope you appreciate that pun as much as I did. I'm smiling as I talk about it. It's so silly and so cute. I hope you enjoy the rest of the hop. Don't forget to hop along to the next video. The Fab 5 have such amazing projects to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.